And welcome. My name's Kate Breslin. I'm the president and CEO at the Schuyler Center for Analysis and Advocacy, and I'm also a co-convener of Winning Beginning New York. And Winning Beginning New York is New York's Early Childhood Coalition. And we are working together with the Alliance for Quality Education around improving early care and learning throughout New York. And we're very excited to be here today to announce the release of a report, Early Childhood Education, Frozen Funding Leads to Cracks in the Foundation. My role here today is small but important, and it is to introduce you to the people who will be speaking to you. But I'd like to really just start out by saying that we come together today because we all believe that investing in early childhood education, including pre-K, is one of the most cost-effective investments that a state can make to improve school success and close the achievement gap. Why? Reading by third grade is a predictor of success and graduation and future success in life. And students who attend pre-K are more likely to have better reading skills by third grade than students who attend just kindergarten. And the positive impact of pre-K is greatest for Hispanic children, Black children, English language learners, and children from low-income families. So we're here today to talk to you about the importance of investing early in New York's kids. Our speakers today are Sharon Lansing from the Pre-K Administrators Association. If you could just raise your hands. Kelly Chiarella from the PTA in Westchester. Marina Marcoux-O'Malley from the Alliance for Quality Education. Cliff Bird, a principal at Abram G. Lansing School in Cohoes. Amparo Sadler, a grandparent from Long Island. And Billy Easton from the Alliance for Quality Education. Welcome.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here today and speak before you. I'm Sharon Lansing. I'm the director of the Lockport Early Childhood Program in Lockport, New York, outside of Buffalo. We serve approximately 290 students both in our UPK program and through special education classes within our district. We collaborate with two local organizations, the YWCA of Niagara and Happy Times Daycare. We have a wonderful relationship with the Head Start program as well. And I also serve as a member of the Board of Directors of the New York State Pre-K Administrators Association. A major goal of the Lockport City School District is to have all students reading on grade level by the end of second grade. As a result of this goal, this summer, we evaluated the Lockport's Early Childhood Program, and I would like to share quickly with you two factors that came out of that study. The first factor or finding was that 90% of our students at the preschool level entered kindergarten at the competent level or the proficient level in the areas of literacy and language arts, in the areas of cognitive growth and development, and social skills. The second factor that I would like to share with you is that 8% of our second grade students last year who had been in our 2007-8 cohort group, only 8% of those students required intervention services through RTI, or what districts call response to intervention. I think those two factors are not common to Lockport. I think that you would find similar statistics statewide if you were to do a similar analysis of every program in New York State. And I also believe that these are powerful, powerful statistics that support the previous statement talking about the cost effectiveness of our programs and encourage continued funding of those programs. However, Lockport is not without our problem, and again, it is a statewide issue as opposed to just unique to Lockport. One of the issues that I would like to present is to talk about what is called the maintenance of effort, and that is a formula in our funding that penalizes you for future years if you had a dip in your enrollment. It's an easy fix for the legislatures to remove that from the formula, from the calculation, and it is budget neutral, so it has no effect on the current budget. And that would enable school districts to have a more solid and planning process for looking forward to future needs. The second issue I'd like to talk about briefly is transportation. Because we are unable to provide transportation as part of this program, we have families in most need unable to access the benefits of the program. Our superintendent, Mrs. Michelle Bradley, is dedicated to early childhood programs, and so is our Board of Education. But we are also realistic in terms of these fiscal times in which we are living. And everything is being considered and looked at in our district and statewide. This is not, again, unique to Lockport. It is an issue that many, many of the preschool administrators are facing in terms of, as districts and superintendents look at their budgets, how is that impacting the pre-K programs and where will the cuts occur? Thank you very much for your time.
My name is Kelly Chiarella. I'm the Westchester East Putnam Region Director for PTA, and I'm also a Yonkers Public School parent. As Region Director of a county that has some of the most affluent areas and also very urban sectors, I can tell you that each and every community is in danger of losing programs and staff. They are all working with less resources, growing diverse populations, and a tax levy cap that limits the availability of funds. Pre-K is one of the first areas to be cut in every district, along with sports, music, and support staff. Pre-K has been reduced and outsourced already in some of the districts, which leads to less uniformity within our programs. In the city of Yonkers, pre-kindergarten was what we called the equalizer, with a large Hispanic population, 17% ELL, and over 70% under the poverty level. It was imperative that these young students attend our full-day pre-K to learn the language, build their vocabulary, and also gain experiences through programs and trips in order to compare with our more suburban neighbors. Last year, the Yonkers Board of Education did a study called the Pre-K Advantage, which states, students who participate in Yonkers Public Schools pre-kindergarten program demonstrate significant increases in achieving proficiency on English language arts and mathematics exams. The district compared proficiency on the mandated New York State's grades 3 through 8 ELA and math exams for students who attended Yonkers Public Schools pre-K with those who did not. The difference in performance statistically is statistically significant across 10 years of data, all examined grade levels, and within most examined subgroups, ethnic, disabled, English language learners, gender, and free reduced lunch populations. For example, the 2008 examination results illustrated a statistically significant 13 to 16% point advantage in attaining proficiency for those students who participated in the pre-kindergarten program. Moreover, high school graduation as a function of pre-K participation is examined and reveals a similarly robust trend. Compared to students who did not participate in the pre-K program, students who did participate in the pre-K program are more likely to graduate from high school. Because of the reduction to the Yonkers pre-kindergarten program, over 600 families were not able to attend this vital program in our public schools. Personally, as a mother of two boys who are now 19 and 11, who benefited from a full-day pre-K program, I can't implore the legislators enough to make this funding a priority. My boys thrive and were able to read before they went to kindergarten. Pre-K was the solid foundation that they both needed to be successful academically. We support wholeheartedly this coalition's request for $53 million to be allocated for pre-kindergarten funding from the $250 in grant money. Thank you.
Analysis and advocacy and analysis, sorry. The Early Care and Learning Center, Betty, you guys changed your name.
CCI.
CCI, which stands for?
Center for Children's
Initiatives, and the New York State Association for the Education of Young Children. And everybody's come together. We've heard from people who are responsible for administering pre-kindergarten programs. We've heard from a mother as a PTA, the head of a regional PTA. We've heard from a grandmother. We've heard from a principal who's talking to us about what the actual impact that he sees is and knows is happening. and we've heard from people who are advocates, and the message from everybody is the same. So we've heard here that people we need to be listening are in this building and across the street. It is our legislators and the governor who must now make decisions about the future of our children. So the decisions we're asking them to make, one, is the $93 million that the governor has put into child care funding. The legislature should enact that. Two, that the $53 million that the Board of Regents has recommended should not go to competitive grants, but should go directly into pre-K, that the governor and the legislature should enact that. There's a lot of talk about competition in education right now. But if we were to hold a competition for the most effective programming possible, early childhood education and pre-K would get to the finish line first. And this, there is over a quarter century of research that proves that quality pre-kindergarten and early childhood education programs increase graduation rates, increase future income for our children, and reduce incarceration rates. So the facts are in. The money is there. This is not one of these times in Albany when the money is not there. The $93 million for early childhood education is in the governor's budget. The $53 million for pre-K is in the competitive grants. It's just a matter of putting it to the thing that works best. That's what we need the governor to do. That's what we need the legislature to do. And hopefully that is what the outcome will be in this budget this year. Thank you.